Welcome to Relation Tales. Please like this video and subscribe Relation Tales. Sam thought his wife Lily had special psychic powers. At first, he didn't believe it, but over the years, she predicted so many events accurately that he couldn't ignore it anymore. Lily often had vivid dreams, and almost every morning she would tell Sam about them. Some were funny, but others were surprisingly accurate, showing her psychic abilities. They got married and had 2 kids, John and Mary. By the time of this story, the kids were in college, leaving Sam and Lily alone. One day, Sam noticed that Lily had stopped talking about her dreams for almost 2 weeks. At breakfast, Sam asked, "Lily, you haven't been telling me about your dreams lately. What's going on?" She felt embarrassed and replied, "They've become too strange. I don't think you should hear about them." "Come on, Lily. I've always listened to your dreams." "Why stop now?" he urged. "Because you might not like what you hear," she said hesitantly. "There, I've said it. Let's drop it." Sam was surprised by Lily's strong reaction. It must have been hard for her to talk about it, especially since she hadn't even considered sharing it. He thought about the things she didn't like to discuss, like her parents' death, her ex-boyfriends, or the scary situation with John right after he was born. Mary's mysterious disappearance for one night when she was 18. Sam knew it was time to drop the subject. He understood that eventually everything would come to light, and all he needed to do was to be patient, like a good husband, which, speaking without undue modesty, he was. 2 more weeks passed until one morning, as Sam was preparing breakfast, Lily burst into the house and sat right on the floor. "Sam, I have to tell you about this dream. These visions are killing me." Lily was almost desperate. Sam realized that a difficult conversation was about to follow. They always discussed everything with each other, even if it caused awkwardness or heated arguments. Sam's balanced nature complemented Lily's emotional outbursts perfectly. Their arguments usually didn't last long. They quickly found a compromise and ended up laughing at their differences or enjoying their love. Sam poured coffee, waiting for the story to begin. This must be interesting, he thought. He noticed that Lily was very nervous, wringing her hands as she always did when she wanted to focus on something. "Sam," Lily began with a trembling voice, "I had a dream that I will see Luke before my death, before the end of my life." "Damn," echoed in Sam's mind. Does she have a premonition of her own death? This is something new. Now I'm starting to worry. And which Luke is she talking about? "Sam," Lily continued, looking at her husband with a desperate gaze, which he rarely saw in her, "I have the same dream every night. It's becoming more persistent. I just can't shake it off. You do know who I'm talking about, right? Luke Slope, the guy the first met in New Zealand many years ago." Sam knew Luke Slope, but had only met him once, the day after the wedding. Here's what happened. When Lily was 18, she and a friend joined a group that toured the 2 main islands of New Zealand for 2 weeks. It was an exciting time for her. Although Lily had traveled abroad a lot before, it was always with her parents. This was the first time she was mostly on her own. The tour mainly involved camping, and everyone traveled by bus. During the long trips, the group spent a lot of time together. Luke was also in this group, and he and Lily became very close during the tour. At that time, Sam didn't know Lily very well. They went to the same school but weren't close friends. However, he later saw photos from the tour and realized how close Lily and Luke had been back then. By the time Sam saw these photos, he and Lily were already a couple, and he had to suppress feelings of jealousy trying to surface when he realized that the love of his life had been close to another man. He convinced himself that it was in the past, and the present was different. He had old girlfriends too, and he had to bury those memories as well. Sam was a little annoyed when the day after the wedding they had to postpone their honeymoon departure until Luke arrived to give them their wedding gift. He agreed only because Lily's whole family insisted on waiting. Luke arrived late from New Zealand and could only make it in the morning, practically missing the wedding. "Poor Luke, traveled all this way and missed the wedding," remarked Lily's mom. She knew about Luke and Lily even more than Sam did, but she was pleased with her daughter's choice. Indeed, from time to time Sam had the impression that Lily's mom would be just as happy if Lily had married Luke. It was simply a feeling, never expressed out loud. The wife's parents always treated Sam with the respect a son-in-law deserves, and he always respected them in return. It was easy to bond with them, and he truly loved them as his own parents. "Sam, you just need to wait a little longer. There's no need to rush. You have your whole life ahead of you," said Lily's mom, for whom a well-organized wedding reception was extremely important, and the thought of someone going through all that effort and not seeing the happy couple in the end was almost unbearable for her. Lily and Sam waited. When the taxi from the airport pulled up to the driveway, Sam noticed a very imposing male figure stepping out of the car. He was about the same build as Sam, with impeccably styled, almost blonde hair. His skin was flawless, almost like a child's, with no blemishes. Sam was surprised at how well-groomed Luke looked after a long flight. Lily immediately ran up to him. "You made it, Luke. I thought you wouldn't be able to come," she exclaimed, hugging him. Sam's instinct was to assert himself, but the public setting and the excitement around him calmed him down. The greetings were warm and heartfelt. Luke handed over a wedding gift, an expensive leather bag. Gradually, Sam relaxed and started to feel more at ease with Luke. Sam and Lily sat in the living room, talking about a strange dream Lily had. "So, did the dream explain why you needed to meet Luke so urgently?" Sam asked, trying to get Lily to share the details. He knew that talking about dreams helped ease her anxiety. "No, that's the thing," Lily replied, nervously twirling her hair. "There was no reason, just a strong feeling that I would see him for the rest of my life. It felt so real. Sam, I've never had such a strong feeling in a dream before." Sam frowned. He knew Lily's psychic abilities were a real and important part of their lives. Acting on her intuition often worked out well for them, though it could be coincidence, but Sam enjoyed what he called playing a little mystique. It made life more interesting, but the problem with extrasensory perception was that you never got the full picture. "Hey, Lily," Sam softly said, embracing his wife from behind. "I know you feel it's necessary right now, but let's wait. We were planning to go there in September anyway. Are you ready to wait until then?" Lily nodded, but desperation still lingered in her eyes. They embraced for a long time until she calmed down. September couldn't come fast enough for Lily. Ever since her revelation to Sam, she had been acting obsessed. She meticulously searched every social media site looking for Luke. She found him and learned where he lived. She knew his profile by heart. 3 adult children divorced. Lives alone in Queenstown, South Island. She listed to Sam, who listened with growing concern. Lily meticulously planned their trip. Tickets were bought. Hotels were booked. Then she wrote to Luke, informing him where and when they would be. Sam was slightly taken aback by this, but he accepted the situation, knowing how important it was to Lily. He trusted her, remembering her romantic confessions. "Sam, I know that if I'm not with you, I will simply die. My life will end. You are my life and my love." These words and many others like them strengthened his trust in her. Lily had proven time and time again that she was a faithful partner, rejecting advances from other men. Sam truly trusted his wife. He wasn't one of those paranoid people who jumped to conclusions at the slightest hint of something unusual. But as the trip date approached, Sam couldn't shake off the growing sense of unease. The Air New Zealand plane landed in Queenstown with 2 very excited passengers on board, Sam and Lily. They checked into a hotel overlooking Lake Wakatipu. Almost immediately, Lily called Luke, and they arranged to meet that evening. Dinner went surprisingly well. Luke acted like a true gentleman and paid a lot of attention to Sam. Sam was surprised to find that he really liked Luke. "He definitely knows how to charm people," Sam thought. "He kept me interested in conversation the whole evening." After dinner, back in the hotel room, Sam asked his wife, "So, Lil, what do you think? Was it worth meeting him?" "Yes, definitely worth it," Lily replied. "He has changed a lot since I knew him at 18. It seems he has lost his aura of innocence, but I guess age does that to all of us. Honestly, Lily, it wasn't that difficult for me today," Sam admitted. "I gradually succumbed to his charm. In the end, I liked him. The next day, they went skiing. Sam arrogantly decided to conquer the intermediate slope, while Lily wisely chose the easy one. The skiing experience was truly delightful. The landscapes were enchanting, especially the view of Queenstown in the distance. Sam started his descent down the slope, not noticing the few skiers on his side. At first, he attributed it to luck, but looking down, he understood the reason. The slope he was skiing on ended with a patch of very hard, slippery snow. Sam noticed this too late. He tried to ski sideways, but lost control on the slippery surface. He was carried straight towards a group of small trees, which eventually broke his fall. In the process, he broke his leg. Fortunately, the resort's medical team was well prepared and quickly transported him to Queenstown Hospital. Lily bustled around and anxiously chattered while the medics did their job. Only when Sam was safely settled in a shared room bed, they both looked at each other and laughed. "Well, Sam, you sure know how to have a vacation abroad," Lily chuckled. I told you I didn't plan this trip so meticulously for nothing, Sam joked in response. The doctor said the fracture wasn't too serious, but because of Sam's age, he would need to stay in the hospital for at least 2 days and then use crutches, maybe even wear a special boot. Hey, enough about my age, Sam joked. I know this messes up our plans, but we'll figure something out. I'm sorry, Lily. I should have been more careful on the slope. But, he emphasized, this is a great chance for you to do something you didn't plan but always wanted to do. I noticed shopping wasn't on the list, and I know how much you love it. Now you can shop without me waiting outside each boutique while you browse and buy nothing. Go and shop. Hearing laughter, they turned around to see the nurse, Virginia, trying not to laugh. By this point, Lily was already bursting with laughter. This was one of the things Sam loved about their relationship. After so many years together, they could still make each other laugh. It showed their comfort and love for each other. All right, hubby, challenge accepted. 2 days of shopping for me, while you relax in this beautiful hotel with meals and room service. Deal. What do you say, Virg? Can I fill the next 2 days with endless shopping? Virgie looked seriously at Lily and replied, This city is made for shopping, food after shopping, and parties after food. I'm not sure about the parties, but shopping and food are definitely good, Lily replied. She turned back to Sam. You think you can make it to the winery with Luke? A few glasses of excellent wine could do wonders for your leg. Besides, if I'm going to spend our money on beautiful clothes and food, you should get your share too. Not sure, Lily. Crutches can be a bit limiting, and antibiotics may not mix well with alcohol. We'll see, but I'm serious. Go and shop. The next morning, Lily visited Sam for she left. See you tonight, darling, she said, leaving the room. Virgie, the nurse, watched her excited departure and commented, I hope your credit card can handle this, Mr. Shelley. Everything in this city for tourists comes at a price. She smirked and also left the room. Sam didn't want to spend the whole day in front of the TV in the lonely hospital room, but the regular visits from nurses and staff with food, offering him snacks and tea, helped pass the time. He easily got to know various staff members, especially Virgie, who was a local. In the evening, as Sam contemplated the neatly arranged hospital dinner, an excited Lily burst into the room. Hi, how's your leg? You'll never guess who I ran into today. Luke. I think he's an even bigger shopaholic than I am. We spent the whole day visiting every possible store. Sam assured Lily that he hadn't exceeded the credit card limit. Although the prices were indeed high, he noted that she might be better off not knowing the details to avoid worrying her accountant brain. Sam talked about how great it was to have a local guide who knew all the best places for shopping and food. Lily listened attentively, then kissed him and settled into a lounge chair next to the bed. They looked at each other, and Sam answered her many questions. Hello, Lily. Good to see you, he said. Yes, the leg is fine. Still a bit sore, but they're giving me painkillers. The swelling has gone down, and the doctor says that's a good sign. Maybe my age isn't such a problem after all. Tell me about your shopping trip with Luke. Lily explained what happened during the day and how Luke had helped her. She also mentioned that Luke promised to do the same the next day. Sam assured her that he trusts her. A sparkle appeared in Lily's eyes as she spoke about that day. Sam suspected that her excitement was not only about the shoes she almost bought. In the evening, Lily stayed until 8 o'clock. As she was leaving, she turned to Sam and said, You know what, Sam? That dream didn't come to me tonight. Isn't that great? Sam nodded and waved goodbye to her. That night he slept like a drugged person, literally. His leg was hurting badly, which apparently was normal, so he had to give himself a painkiller shot. The next morning, Sam woke up and realized two things. Firstly, it was already late, and secondly, Lily was sitting next to the bed looking tired and nervous. Hi, sleepyhead, she whispered. I thought I'd have to go shopping today without talking to you. The nurse said your leg was hurting last night, and you had to take some miracle medicine. How are you feeling now? The look of concern in her eyes made Sam feel a little sorry for her, so he didn't mention his leg. Hi, Lily, he mumbled indistinctly. I'm okay. Unfortunately, I might have to stay here a little longer. The doctor is concerned about a few blood vessels. She came yesterday evening after scanning my leg. Apparently, there's a hint of a hematoma. I'll rest and take medication. And how about you? Did you sleep well? You look a bit tired this morning. Did that dream come back? Lily hesitated slightly, which Sam didn't notice at that moment. No, Sam, it didn't come back to me. I'm so glad. It was part of my mind for so long that it's strange not seeing it anymore. Anyway, I was planning to go shopping again today, but do you want me to stay here with you? You look a bit worse than usual. Lily, I think I'll be bad company all day, Sam replied. I'll be drifting in and out of sleep while the medication works. You go and do what we talked about. Go shopping until you drop. And now go. I think they're already open. Lily left again, and Sam sank into a half-asleep, half-awake state. Nurse Virgie entered his foggy consciousness several times. Your wife is a great dancer, Mr. Shelley, but I want to warn you about a local resident who knows all the sights and restaurants. It's the man she dances and spends time with. He's a real snake. Be careful with him. This I tell you from personal experience, she said. Then she left again. Sam wasn't sure if what he heard was some kind of dream or not. However, he wasn't conscious enough to fully digest what was said, so he simply fell asleep. Sam woke up to the smell of dinner waiting for him on the bedside table. The food helped him come to his senses, which probably wasn't a very good idea. His leg ached like a sinner's heart. After dinner, he settled on the pillows in that special semi-reclining, semi-sitting position. At that moment, Lily entered the room. She looked tired and a little nervous. Hi, Sam. Sorry, I'm a bit late. How was dinner? She asked, kissing him. Hi, Lily, Sam replied. As usual, they try their best, but it never compares to home-cooked food. How was your day? I'll need to pick up some extra work when I get home to pay off my cards. Lily smiled. No, Sam. Luke paid for almost everything today, she said, but it seemed like she held back from further comments. An awkward silence hung in the air. After a while, Nurse Virgie entered the room to give Sam an injection. She looked at Lily with a silent, understanding gaze that women seemed to master from a young age. Lily looked away and turned to Sam. So, Sam, we have a visit to the vineyard and winery planned for tomorrow. I guess you won't be able to go. What a shame. Sam, this leg is causing you so much trouble. I'll come tomorrow and spend the day with you. With that, she glanced at Virgie, who barely nodded in approval. What's going on between them? Sam thought. It's almost like a secret code of gestures and nods. I'll have to ask Virginia about it somehow. Absolutely not. Lily, Sam objected. I really appreciate you coming. I miss your company, but I know there's nothing more boring than sitting in the hospital. I know you want to be here with me, but it's your vacation too. I'm sorry my foolishness is wasting your time. Go and enjoy your time at the vineyard. Promise to bring back a crate of excellent wine that we can share when I get out of here. Lily couldn't contain her excitement. Okay, thank you, Sam. See you in the evening. Don't forget to treat the nurses well, she said and left. Virgie sat in the room for a little while longer and was about to attend to other tasks when Sam called her over. Virginia, can I talk to you for a minute? He asked. She hesitated, but stayed. I'm very sorry, Mr. Shelley. I shouldn't have told you anything earlier. I'm sorry if I said something unnecessary. You mentioned my wife being a good dancer and something about a snake. I was a bit out of sorts when you told me that. Is there something I should know? And how do you know Lily is a good dancer? Virgie noticeably paled, but approached and sat down next to the bed. Mr. Shelley, what I'm about to tell you, you probably won't want to hear, she began. There's a place in town known for dancing. Around 9 o'clock, I saw Mrs. Shelley there with Luke Slope. He's well known around here for charming women. He even flirted with me once, and he's very good at it. It felt like I was under a spell. Virgie paused, gathering her thoughts. I watched them for a while, and it was clear that Mrs. Shelley was close to him. I'm not sure how to say this, Mr. Shelley, but she was very close to him. He had his arm around her most of the evening, and during slow dances, she was even closer. It was like they were a couple. They left around 11, and I don't know where they went. I'm so sorry. Sam? Can I call you Sam? I can't tell you this as a nurse, it's against work protocol, but I believe you should know. She sighed and left the room. What the hell? Sam said aloud. This information caught him off guard. He never expected anything like this from Lily in his life. There must be a completely innocent explanation for all this. He trusted Lily and trusted her with their entire married life. There was never the slightest hint, explicit or hidden, that she might leave him. She was a shining example of a faithful, loving wife and partner. She was a wonderful mother to their 2 children. Children who adore her for her strength and love for them. He adores her for the same reason. Sam lay in the hospital room, immersed in anxious thoughts. Lily was his chosen one, with whom he planned to spend the rest of his life. Their visit to Luke was supposed to be a one-time visit. Sam trusted him and was glad that Luke took care of Lily while Sam himself was in the hospital after a silly accident on the ski slope. But now doubts were swirling in Sam's mind. Could it all have been orchestrated? No, his injury was definitely real. Then how did it quickly escalate into what Nurse Virgie had told him about? Lily wasn't the type to make quick decisions. She usually needed time to think things over. This behavior was completely unlike her. She had only met Luke 2 days ago. During their first meeting, he barely paid attention to her. If he wanted to impress Lily, he would have been attentive from the start. Sam's thoughts were muddled, and his legs started hurting again. He called for help. Virgie entered the room. "Do you always work here?" Sam asked. "It seems like you're always around when I wake up. What kind of schedule do you have?" Virgie smiled. "We nurses have very strange shifts. Sometimes I finish at 10:30 in the evening and start at 6 in the morning. Sometimes we have split shifts. The system doesn't really spoil us, but we love our work, taking care of unfortunate souls like you." "Is something wrong? Is your leg bothering you again, or are you worried about what I told you earlier?" She looked at Sam with understanding. There was a flicker of sympathy in her gaze, which Sam didn't want at all. He didn't want to take out his irritation on the devoted and honest nurse. "You're right, it's both," he replied. "But I think only the leg can be dealt with using medication. I'll call the on-call doctor to examine your leg. Just hold on a bit. He still has a few more patients." The nurse was about to leave when Sam called out to her. "Virgie, can I borrow a phone? I need to make a few calls." "Of course. It's not entirely by the rules. Since there are no bedside phones in this room, I'll figure something out." "You're an angel, Virgie," said Sam. "I've been called that before. Mr. Shelley," she smiled, leaving the room. Soon the doctor came and examined Sam's leg again. "Your leg is healing, Mr. Shelley, but residual pain is possible until the blood vessels fully restore normal function. I'm glad the swelling has significantly decreased. I'll prescribe you some painkillers, but I don't think an injection will be necessary. Rest up, and in a couple of days, you'll be able to go home." Sam was soon brought a mobile phone. The orderly explained how to use it and said that all calls would be charged to Sam's account. He also gave him a paper copy of the local telephone directory. The first call Sam made was to their hotel. The receptionist was very polite and, fortunately for Sam, recognized him. She asked how his leg was. Sam briefly told her about the accident and how he was recovering. Almost casually, he asked if his wife had been causing any trouble, like having noisy parties while he was away. He said it as a joke, and the receptionist responded in the same relaxed manner. "No, Mr. Shelley, no noisy parties. Your brother was with her last night. She introduced him to me when she got back around 11:30. He seemed like a very pleasant man to me. I think I've seen him here before. I assumed he was a local, but you know how it goes. We see so many people coming and going from here. When can we expect you back?" she asked at the end of the conversation. Sam told her about the doctor's prognosis and hung up. It was quite unusual. Usually, receptionists do not share such information so freely. Sam wondered if she suspected, like Nurse Virginia, that something was wrong, and if she was trying to warn him, but not directly. Sam sat in the hospital room, boiling with rage, as all the facts came together. His wife Lily spent whole days shopping with his newly named brother, Luke. They went dancing together, where they were seen too close to each other. Then they were spotted kissing, and in the evening they returned together to Sam and Lily's hotel room. Sam could not believe how his beloved wife could change so much. He tried to calm down and find a logical explanation, but emotions took over. "I must talk to Lily directly," he thought. "But if I am wrong, it could ruin our relationship." He called Lily's mobile, but reached her voicemail. Then he dialed the hotel receptionist. "Mrs. Shelley and your brother arrived about 10 minutes ago and went straight up to your room with a bottle of wine," the receptionist reported. "Would you like me to connect you to the room?" Sam's breath caught. He could not believe things had gone so far. At that moment, Nurse Virginia entered the room. "Mr. Shelley, you look terrible. Let's check your blood pressure." Seeing the result, she became worried. "Your blood pressure is too high. You need to relax. Can I help with anything?" Sam shared his suspicions with her. "Oh, Mr. Shelley. Sam, I'm so sorry. It's all my fault," Virginia lamented. "I shouldn't have told you anything." "No, you are not to blame," Sam reassured her. "I would have found out anyway. Tell me, do you know anyone who has free time right now? I need evidence." "Yes, Amy, a nursing student, is off today. I'm sure she won't refuse extra work." Excellent, nodded Sam. Ask her to keep an eye on Lily and Luke. I will pay generously. Sam knew what students were capable of. He explained to Virgie what he wanted, and she immediately called Amy with his offer. Convincing Amy seemed to be difficult, but when Virgie mentioned the generous payment, any objections disappeared. Sam's leg was terribly painful. In the evening, as expected, Lily arrived, radiant and clearly excited. A self-satisfied expression froze on her face. Hi, Sam. Did you miss me today? How's your leg? You look unwell, she chirped. Hello to you too, Lily, Sam dryly replied. The leg is slightly better. The doctor said I'll be discharged in 2 days. Sorry, you'll have to manage a little longer on your own. Don't worry, Sam. I'll manage. Lily waved off carelessly. By the way, the trip to the vineyard was very fun. We spent the whole day there. It's amazing I can still walk straight after all those tastings. Luke and his brother showed me around the whole farm. It's a shame you missed it. We got back just in time for me to see you. I must admit, I'm very tired. Is it okay if I leave early? I need to go to bed. Remember, we're planning to go to Glenorchy tomorrow. The driver is still booked, so I'll go and promise to take lots of photos for you. With that, she stood up, getting ready to leave. Of course, thank you, Lily, Sam replied, feeling everything inside tighten. Then see you tomorrow evening. There's no point in coming here so early if you need to meet the driver. I love you. See you later. Lily lowered her eyes and softly said, I love you too, Sam. Now Sam knew for sure that everything said about Lily was true. She blatantly lied to him about spending the whole day at the vineyard. In reality, she spent at least half the day in a hotel room with Luke. Her words took on a completely different meaning. All those tastings. I need to go to bed. I'm so tired. It's amazing that I can even walk straight. It all sounded quite innocent, but Sam could no longer trust her words. What had his Lily, done to his perception of her? Sam contacted Amy directly and explained in detail what he wanted from her. She seemed almost delighted with the task at hand, but Sam couldn't share her enthusiasm. What he was asking her for would cost him a lot of money and possibly his marriage. That night, Sam couldn't fall asleep. He tossed and turned not because of his sore leg, but because of the constant pain in his heart. With horror, he thought about the impending pain that would crash down on him and his family. How would he tell Lily about all this if it turned out to be true? The weight of this accusation was greater than any argument they had ever had. The consequences would last forever. And what about their children? How would this affect them? Sam knew he would never be able to trust Lily again. He had read about couples who managed to leave the past behind. But damn, this touched the very essence of their relationship. Disregarding this uniqueness meant disregarding love. If this is true, every word and action from Lily will have to be questioned and checked for truth. What kind of relationship is this? Certainly not one that Sam could continue. He needed more proof. The next 2 days will determine if Amy can provide what he desperately needs, yet fears. As usual, the 2 days passed quickly and unnoticed. The doctor allowed Sam to leave the hospital under the condition that he would be careful. No more skiing for you on this trip, Mr. Shelley, the doctor said as Sam left in a wheelchair, clutching his new crutches. At the hotel, the administrator greeted him warmly, saying, We hope you'll have a relaxing stay. Mr. Shelley, your room has been specially cleaned and refreshed for you. She winked at him, a gesture Lily didn't notice. There's also a welcome drink and snacks for you. Enjoy, she added before returning to her work, ignoring Lily. The elevator ride was tense. Lily tried to make conversation, but soon realized Sam wasn't in the mood. The tension between them was palpable as they silently waited for the elevator doors to open. Sam entered the room and immediately asked Lily to turn on the TV. Maybe we should sit together first, she suggested. You watched a lot of TV in the hospital. You're right, Lily, Sam replied. Just help me connect something. I can't reach from the wheelchair. When the TV turned on, Sam switched the signal source to USB. An empty image appeared on the screen. Very interesting. Sam, Lily tried to joke. So that's what you were watching while I was out shopping. Lily, please sit down. Sam's tone made her wary. She sat down, not taking her eyes off the screen. Tell me, what were you doing while I was in the hospital? Demanded Sam. Lily paled but tried to compose herself. You know, I was shopping. Went to the winery. Stop lying, shouted Sam. For the first time in their entire family life, he raised his voice at her in anger. What were you and that idiot Luke doing while I was in the hospital? Oh, Sam, Lily sobbed. We were spending time together, probably more than we should have. But we were so happy. Sam didn't let her finish. He turned on the first slide on the USB drive. The photo showed two people kissing in a nightclub. Lily gasped. Sam, I don't know what to say. She whispered through tears. Just tell the truth. Is that you and Luke at the club yesterday? Lily, Sam shouted again. Yeah, Sam, it's us, Lily answered barely audibly. I'm so sorry. I swear, that's all. Sam didn't let her finish. He quickly showed the next slide a couple on the club terrace, clearly engaged in something inappropriate. What did you want to say, Lily? That it was just an innocent dance? Is that what you wanted to swear about? Lily cried, rocking back and forth, repeating, No, no, no. Sam grabbed a beer from the minibar without offering Lily anything. His anger was so intense that he no longer saw his wife, only a deceitful, unfaithful woman. Thank you for today's photos from Glenorchy, Lily, but I have my own, he continued, showing slides that left no doubt about what Luke and Lily had been doing all day. On the third slide, Lily collapsed to the floor. Despite his concern for her condition, Sam was consumed by a rage he had never felt before. Sam considered leaving Lily in that state and walking out of the hotel, but he needed to know the truth. He poured icy water from the bucket in the fridge onto her face. Lily woke up and groaned, hugging herself and curling into a fetal position on the floor. Sam lifted her and roughly threw her on the bed. Lily began to repeat monotonously, I love you. Your promises and love mean nothing to me right now, Lily, Sam coldly replied. I want to know how this happened and why. How did you manage to quickly and openly destroy our marriage? And the kids? My God, what will we tell the children? Why, Lily? Just tell me why, he demanded. Did I do something that made you stop respecting not me, but our love for each other? Our beautiful love, which we felt every day. What did you give it all up for? Just to have fun with that jerk? Why, Lily? Sam shouted again, but then lowered his voice, fearing that the hotel staff would hear them. How did this happen, Lily? He whispered, Tell me. I have always loved you and thought you loved me the same way. Lily continued to hug herself, as if seeking protection. I don't know, Sam. Honestly, I don't know, she finally answered. One moment I was enjoying Luke's company, and the next I found myself drawn to him. He knew what to say, what to do. He made me feel like a queen, a princess, his princess. All his words sounded so right. I didn't intend to succumb to his charms. It just happened, Lily continued, explaining how it all began on the first day of shopping. She talked about how she relaxed in Luke's company, how his touches became familiar and wanted. She described the night at the club dancing, compliments, and drinks. Sam, how could I do this? Lily sobbed. You are the love of my life, and I could stoop so low. Sam listened to her confession, struggling with anger and the pain of being betrayed by the woman he loved so much. When Luke finally took Lily back to the hotel, seemingly very late, she spent what felt like hours in the shower. She wanted to wash away all traces of what had happened, especially before facing Sam. She was devastated when the next morning Sam noticed how tired she looked. But I still long for the next meeting with Luke. What's wrong with me? Lily thought, nervously wringing her hands and hitting herself on the head as if wanting to wake up from a terrible dream. I still want to see him. Damn it, I crave another meeting, she almost shouted to herself, realizing the full horror of what she had done. Sam listened and remained silent, but with each word from Lily, his anger grew. He allowed her to continue her confession. After breakfast, he invited me back to the city. Lily continued through sobs. He kissed me at every opportunity. I felt like his princess. He was a knight in shining armor, and in my mind, I wanted him more than anything in the world, and he knew it. He played me like a musical instrument. We went through with it. She finally admitted, I should have stopped. I should have thought of you. The guilt started to awaken, and I ran away from there as quickly as I could. Sam could barely speak. You came to the hospital every day, pretending everything was fine, while entertaining him behind my back at every opportunity. This cannot be fixed, Lily. But Lily did something that ultimately destroyed their marriage. She started defending Luke. Sam, no, everything was not like that. Luke said he fell in love with me when we were teenagers. He always thought of me, even when he got married. He was never satisfied with that marriage. Lily looked at Sam again with pleading eyes. He couldn't believe how ridiculous this was. Lily seemed to be siding with Luke. She was trying to explain their actions as a consequence of their past relationship many years ago. Why did you choose to do what you did? Don't tell me you felt the same way he did. I really want to know, Sam demanded. Lily started playing with her hands nervously, a habit Sam recognized well. She focused and answered, Sam, on that first day, it was like he turned something on inside me. He brought me back to my younger years. Like a switch, it either turned on or off. When he flipped that switch, everything turned on and we turned off. I can't explain it any other way. Anger at the situation began to push out the feeling of guilt in Sam. Lily continued, having fun with Luke was like riding a roller coaster. Sam. She fell silent, realizing what she had just said. The conversation was over. Sam heard and saw enough. Her final remark plunged his emotions into a state of despair over what his love, his beloved, had just said and done. I will call reception, and in 10 minutes, a taxi will be waiting for you. Gather your things and go. I don't care where you go, just far away from me. Sam turned away from her. Lily hesitated, but knew arguing was pointless. She gathered her things, still muttering, No, Sam, you are my life. Without you, my life is over. My life is over. The taxi arrived, and she left. Saying goodbye to Mrs. Shelley, the administrator, she smiled understandingly. She had seen this many times, but still had to be polite to the hotel guests. Sam pondered Lily's words and grew angrier. He knew he had to do one more thing. He called Virgie and asked her to make a list of all the married couples Luke had ruined. 2 days later, Virgie left a large envelope for Sam at the front desk. When he opened it, he realized how much work she had done. Virgie, you're simply an angel, whispered Sam, not addressing anyone in particular. There were about 30 couples on the list. Some were still married, but most had divorced or separated and were living apart. Virgie provided phone numbers for almost all the victims. It was important information. Sam had to make several phone calls. 2 days later, he boarded a plane and flew home. He had seen Glenorchy and wanted his memories of the place to stay pure and innocent, not spoiled by the disturbing pictures Amy had shown him. Back home, Sam called lawyers to begin the divorce process. His children were upset with how things had turned out. They were deeply shocked. None of them could understand how their mother, who had always been sensible, could do such things. Sam didn't bother trying to explain anything. He left it on the conscience of the person he now considered a shrew. Sam was completely puzzled by how a warm, loving, compassionate, caring, faithful person could, in one moment, as Lily put it, descend to such animalistic behavior. It troubled him so deeply that it consumed all his days. Eventually, he sought advice on this and some other issues related to their divorce. It helped him deal with the anger and confusion from this whole sordid story. It didn't help him cope with the loneliness. There was no more laughter in the house. Almost every morning, he would wake up, go to the kitchen, and set out 2 coffee cups, expecting Lily to come in and tell him about her dreams. Oh, how he missed his old Lily. Sam suffered from loneliness after divorcing Lily. His children, John and Mary, tried to spend as much time with him as they could, knowing how he felt. Sam even thought about selling the house and moving closer to them in the city. After dividing their property, Sam bought out Lily's share of the house. He packed up all her belongings and sent them to New Zealand, where she now lived with that man, Luke. Sam couldn't resist a small act of revenge. He dampened all her clothes before packing them and edited the photos so that only Lily was in them, alongside a dog. Shortly after the divorce, Sam heard from a mutual friend that things were not going well for Lily and Luke. Luke had decided to leave Lily, and when she tried to stop him, he violently attacked her, leaving her hospitalized. Lily fell into depression and started taking sedatives. Sometime later, there was news of a fire at Luke Slope's apartment in the newspaper. It was reported that unknown intruders had broken in, assaulted Luke, and set the apartment on fire. As a result, both Luke and a woman who was there died in the fire. Second story, I don't know what to do. Everything hurts. I just found out my boyfriend was cheating on me with 2 different people. One of them was his ex, and I don't even know who the second person was. I caught him the other day with some suspicious texts. But I stupidly believed his lie that it was just his cousin. I know it's dumb, and I should leave him, but I love him so much that I can't. I watched him tell them off and block them, but now I don't even know if I can trust him anymore. What hurts the most is that he just moved to a different state to be with me. I thought that meant he really loved me, but clearly not. During our conversation, he never got angry with me. He was the one comforting me, holding me, and telling me he's sorry, that he's always loved me, as I sobbed and screamed at him. This all happened last night, and now it's the morning after. He left for work, and I just finished cooking. Now I'm lying in bed feeling so depressed and lonely. My chest hurts so bad. This pain is unbearable. He promised he loved me, promised he would never hurt me, promised I was the only person in his life. And he used to never break his promises to me. He always said he wouldn't. But now this happened, and I don't know what to do. I don't want to tell my friends or family because they'll just tell me to leave him or even kick him out, and I feel too stupid to let him leave. I know I am. So I came here to talk about this because I honestly have no one else to go to. I want a future with him. I want to have my future children with him. But this is making me rethink our entire past. I've never felt this much hurt and pain in so long because he was my happiness, my rock. But now I don't even know what to say or do anymore. He was everything to me. When he moved here, we started doing everything together outside of work. He was like a breath of fresh air from this horrible reality. And now I feel like I'm suffocating all over again.